no. Jiraiya should not be in it. If I see Jiraiya in there, put Sasuke in there. I dare you. Put Sasuke in there. Put Sasuke. Put Sasuke.
To you about this before the call.
Do it.
Because
do it now.
I think I know where you're coming from.
Do it now.
But I want you to explain it because
do it now.
I don't know where to go from here.
Do it now.
Could you explain to the ladies and gentlemen, the jury?
Why is he here? Oh no! You're not about to do this. You're not about to...
For its lack of characters or the ones that it misused. But really, when I look at it, I think Naruto also has a lot of great characters that sometimes don't get the attention that they deserve. With me for this video, I brought along 6. So what's up?
Hey.
Is that it?
Yep.
Just All right, bet. So we came up with a list of characters that we thought was worth talking about, and we're going to discuss whether or not we think they're overrated, underrated, or properly rated. I actually kind of got this idea from Barry McCockner. Just ignore that last name, but he does great sort of content on sports and stuff like that. So I feel like this would be fun with this series in particular. So I guess the first character we want to go over is Lee, right?
Oh my god.
Sir.
Oh no.
I got.
What are you gonna say?
Lee. He's like a.
I think he's underrated. In my eyes, Rock Lee's the most. He didn't get the treatment he deserved in Shippuden for me. In Shippuden, he was just like he was dog, man. I'd be real. In OG, amazing. But he did not get the fuck. He was just deep how cold he was. Just deep how cold he was, like
at a weird spot here, right? Because he's overrated.
This guy, when he took off, the one in OG Naruto, when he was versing Gaara, he took off his shackles, and then he done that lotus spin, fucking destroyed. No man.
In terms of like power, right? And then he's like underrated in terms of his character,
bro. And he was the most. He was like the second underneath Naruto, who was like the most persistent. Like, this guy was shit at everything when he was younger. Deep it. His dad was never the best. He was shit at everything. Like, everyone else could do like ninjutsu, all this. He had nothing. But then he trained his ass off. Deep it. He trained his ass off to learn taijutsu, and then he was able to. Nah. Actually, wait. I lied. His dad was overpowered. My bad. I'm just thinking. His dad was overpowered. I remember his dad literally died for protecting him.
The reason I feel like he's underrated in terms of his character is because a lot of people watch the Naruto anime, obviously starting out, and it's been a long time since someone's like rewatched it, right? So people mostly go off of their memory. I saw it 5 years ago. This is what I remember the character like. He's really so good at hard work.
Yeah, I told you.
That's like the main focus for
this
character. Guys like
just like Naruto.
Guys are geniuses. You know, Neji's a genius. Sasuke's a genius.
He was never. He's like. This is who I compare him to. I compare him to. I compare him to Ronaldo, innit? You know how Ronaldo was never naturally gifted. He was never naturally gifted like Messi. People like Sasuke, people like Naruto are naturally gifted because they were born with the Uchiha, you get me? And then the 9 tails. But he's like Ronaldo. He never got that. He had to work hard. Bro done like millions of thousands of laps around the stadium. Like, he was him. Oh, don't get me started on that fucking topic, K, man. I'm not. I just use him as an example. I'm not trying to like. You get me? But he's like Ronaldo, innit? He had to work to get to where he is. But then he got injured. Then when he was injured, this guy even fought off. He still done his thing against that nigga that pulls bones out of his shit with Gaara. This guy was like fully injured, and he just got out of bed, ran fucking miles and miles, and helped thing. But then in Shippuden, he just got left. I'll be real. He was just there.
So as the 9 tails, whatever. Lee's a genius in the way that he'll work as hard as he needs to in order to catch up with those people. Right, and that's how he can like somewhat match Gaara, even though he lost. Blah blah blah.
Was
and
a good
I think
fight,
it's a really underrated aspect of his character. I mean, he was able to unlock 5 gates just off sheer hard work alone. No talent at all.
Oh my god, this guy, man. Hey, shut up, man. I'm not even gonna lie. Yo, what? Bro, Messi could be the Messi, yeah, deep it. Messi could not even have Iniesta, Xavi, all these Busquets, fucking Peak, anyone. He didn't have to have them. This guy would literally solo the whole team, and you can't even disagree with me. This guy would literally solo the whole team, dribble through everyone, then finesse it top corner. I'm just saying, man, like.
So.
I'm just saying, man, he don't need help.
That aspect.
I don't need help. I personally can't speak in terms of power because I actually was like, yo, I'm thinking of doing power scaling, and Swag literally screamed at me. He was like, don't, please don't. But it was one of those things with Lee where I do sort of feel bad for his character in the sense that it's a little weird because I agree with you in the sense that I think certain aspects of his character get underrated. I think people just expected so much more from him as a side character than his role really was. Does that make sense? Where it's like, I don't know, like
I thought it would be on the level of Shinakamaru or Shikamaru, whatever his name's called, the guy that has the shadow shit. I'd rather him get less airtime than Rock Lee. I feel like Rock Lee's a way better character than that guy, in my opinion.
He looks at, I don't know.
Bro, I don't care about fucking manipulating shadows and shit.
Like bench player, right? Or a role player. That's a role player. They're not meant to go out there and put up 25 points all the time. If they go out there and drop a 25-point game, that's probably not happening again. Maybe not the best analogy, but I feel like Lee did his job for the time within the story. And later on in Shippuden, when the story needed to focus on more important things regarding the narrative, I think people fail to realize that, you know, maybe you could argue Lee should have been giving a more satisfying end to his character. And I think a lot of people might argue Lee is overrated just because of the conversation surrounding his character. Like, how many times have you heard the take Lee should be the main character or should have been the main character?
That's a terrible take.
That's shit take.
Right.
What the fuck?
I had to have heard it at least 1,000 times. Like, I hate it. It's annoying.
Right. Because people seem to get this idea that Naruto is all about hard work and being the underdog when that's not even the central theme of the story. So I think Lee oftentimes gets put in conversations he shouldn't be, so he could be looked at as overrated, but yet I don't know. Lee is a weird one. Lee is a very weird one, and I think a character later on that we're going to discuss is kind of in a similar position.
Yep. Hey. I think I found like a better analogy.
I think I know what he's talking about.
It's like too much of a side character thing, right?
Okay,
so say you
chat
have
to me.
Like chocolate chip ice cream or a chocolate chip cookie, right? You obviously like the chocolate chips in it.
Yeah.
But then like if you were to add 10 times the amount of chocolate chips in there, you probably wouldn't want to eat it anymore.
You right?
So it's like too much of a good thing can be bad. So maybe it's better.
Oh no, man! You don't know though, man. We would have loved him, bro. How did Sai, the guy that can like draw shit, get more airtime than Lee? Oh, he's not even that cool, but he did have a story. He did have a cool kind of backstory. But I kind of see it, but like he's just a cool character, though. Lee, man, in general. Maybe because he had less of a backstory, to be honest. All he done is he just worked really hard to get to where he was, and that was it. And then his dad died, like, protecting him. I was like, I don't know. I see why they didn't really, like, there wasn't more of him, but he was still just a cool character.
Get as much screen time as everyone wanted him to. We talked about this a little bit before we were recording, but if Lee and everyone was to get all the screen time everyone wanted them to, the manga would be like 1,000 chapters. It would get to like One Piece length.
Okay, that's why One Piece is the GOAT. That's why One Piece is the GOAT. Because they done everything that Naruto couldn't do. That's a fact. That's not even... Yo, don't say that's cap, Hilton. Don't say it's cap until you watch One Piece. Shut the fuck up. You have no say in this motherfucker. It's fact. I've watched 140 episodes. 140, and I can already say the world building's better. There's so much we don't know about Naruto. Like the whole Naruto universe. Like we got introduced We got introduced to these 6 cages, whatever the fuck they're called, Hokages, whatever, however you say it. Bro, the Mist Village, we don't know anything about them barely. We just know that they had bear swordsmen that were cool. What about if they went into detail about it? Like, it's just simple shit. I feel like Lee should make a return in Boruto. Bleach is better. I don't know. I can't give you that opinion yet. I'm only on like episode 30. Bleach has a cool cast of members. I'll admit that. Huge tits, bruv, everywhere. Huge. Sorry, I just had to say that.
Yeah, you know, it really doesn't need to be that long, so.
Right, yeah. I definitely think Lee and some other characters at times, and I think this happens with many series where people want side characters to be more than side characters.
Especially that ginger girl, bro. What's that? I don't even know her name anymore, man. The one that can like summon shit with her, like she has like hairpins that have like protect, like fucking like people come out of them hairpins, or I don't even know what it is. You know what I'm talking about? He won. Exactly what I'm talking about. As
great as these characters are and the themes that they could add to the story, you can't make the mistake of giving too much.
Hey, have you watched Boruto?
Therefore, possibly compromising what the main point of the entire story is really about. So I think that's sort of how it is with Lee. The next character, I think we both agree.
Oh, here we go. I don't even want to look. I don't.
A character, and that would be Itachi. Now I'll say this just to get it out of the way.
Yeah. Her name's
Itachi's
crazy.
Easily a top 5 character in the series.
Okay. I like his view. I like him. Top 5. Top 3.
However,
Top 3 now.
I still and maybe
no,
because my friends were the biggest Itachi fan.
Sasuke. No. Itachi over Sasuke.
Boys. But I think he's one of the best characters in the series.
I said it.
But I feel like he can slightly be overrated at times.
I said it. I hate Sasuke.
Properly rated and overrated.
I hate him.
And I think you might give better insight regarding like the power scaling community of it, because I've heard like
I said
like,
nah. What the fuck? What do you mean nah?
And I still don't like. Again, power scaling's not my thing, but that does not sit right with me.
It doesn't
I don't know.
sound right. Yeah.
So.
It's like the first time you hear the take, it's like, oh, maybe. And then you think about it for like, I don't know, 10 seconds. And you're like, no, it's not working out that way. So, I mean, yeah, Itachi's definitely overrated in terms of power scaling. I tend to lean more towards he's like fairly rated. Like I don't care, man. Like I like shift on this character. But in this power scaling, he's just 100% overrated. I mean, I'm even a little bit guilty of it sometimes.
Chat, what is power scaling? I hear that word. Okay. I get it now. I get it, okay.
Let me just be real. But
okay.
But yeah.
Right.
I sometimes 100% overrated. I like shift on this character. But in this power scaling, he's just 100% overrated. I mean, I'm even a little bit guilty of it sometimes. Let me just be real. But
okay.
But yeah.
Right.
Don't act like he couldn't beat Itachi. No, he couldn't beat Sasuke, bruv. When he let him win. So he died. Don't, bro. You're saying he's man. He would have got fucked by Madara, but still, like, he's still like up there with like the strongest fucking. He's like second. He's like third or fourth. Like he was fucking. You know, like people. He's not overrated because he never actually showed his full potential. So how can he be overrated if he never showed his full how good he was?
I know when I'm doing it is the thing. A lot of people don't.
Right.
They just spit it as fact, and it's just not. It's
just
not
like that. God, here we go.
Right. No. Yeah. And I think it's also just how aggressive a lot of the Itachi fans are.
Oh, what?
I know there was a story, sadly, of this guy who, I believe,
a 14-year-old boy leapt more than 100 feet to his death from the top of an apartment block in Chavyovsky, Russia, after seeing his favorite manga character killed. Huh? That's a thing. Oh nah.
He like jumped off a building, didn't he?
That's fucking OD. That's
Itachi
OD.
died in the story of Naruto.
That's OD.
It's just, like some real crazy stuff.
That's OD.
When you look at like the fan base and how they can really look at a character at times. But I do think Itachi as like an actual character though is great. Like for me, there's no denying that. Just the sheer fact of him being the most important character to the second most important character in the story, and the twist with his character was also really brilliant. I think Itachi deserves all the praise he gets as a character. But for me personally, if someone had him at number 1, I'm not going to be upset, but I'd kind of disagree. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course you do. Okay. Who's he gonna put? Naruto.
He's just really impressive. Like the stuff he does is just impressive. Like he stopped Edo Tensei. That's just impressive.
Right.
Like no matter which way you slice it. So.
Right, for sure. No, yeah. So Itachi's dope. However, this other character, who's my personal favorite in the series, I would personally put.
Oh, what? And you were the people that put Itachi first, and you're putting Obito first. He has a cool backstory, but like, come on now.
Above Itachi as a character.
No, man. I don't know. It's close. It's close, but I don't know. I think they're even. I think they both have amazing backstories, to be honest. I don't know why you would be angry at someone putting Itachi, like... I think they both have amazing backstories. Chad, we're only 8 minutes through, man. Of this fucking... This shit.
Saying it will get me
it's gonna be a long
so much trouble. So, I kind of want your take on it, because I feel like I've said a lot regarding Obito, and how I legitimately think he's the second best antagonist in the series. Maybe I'm tripping on that one.
Yeah, you are.
But I do feel like Obito's entire reputation has... It was horrible. Like, I could not find another... We were talking about it before the recording. Like, back when I first started YouTube, I could not find another Obito fan outside of me, maybe Swag. Yeah. Like, that was it.
As soon as I got done with Naruto in 2019, I loved Obito.
I did like him. Don't get to it. I liked him because I liked the fact that everything linked together. Like, his crew was, like, opposite to what Naruto's crew is. If you get what I mean. Naruto's crew was the Sasuke that went rogue, but the Naruto that went, like, took the right path. But this one was the opposite. Obito was the Naruto that failed, and Kakashi was the Sasuke that succeeded, that did not go rogue. He took revenge, don't get it twisted, he took revenge on people, but then he was like, it's not the right path. And he used his brain! That Sasuke could not use his brain! Because he's a dumb... Sorry. It infuriates me how dumb that guy is. Like, it's crazy.
No one else liked him. I was on Instagram back then, like, you know, on the Naruto pages. No one liked Obito. So
I don't believe that.
Definitely Obito is underrated. I'm gonna say firm on that.
Is he underrated though? Is Obito? I feel like a lot of people rate Obito. He was a very good, like the way he done everything. He was a very smart character. Like he thought everything out, but he was bait at the end of the day. He was a product of this evil life.
He's just
this evil life we're in. He got used. It's tough. Got used by Madara. He got used to fuck.
It's underrated. That's it. He's not overrated in any aspect.
He's not overrated.
Right.
A lot of people like to, you know, say that Obito started a war because of Rin, when that's just blatantly not true.
Nah.
I mean, yes. He technically, like, what other way did he start the war? What was the main reason why he?
I totally agree. I just don't think you can have a character who's that narratively impactful, and not only that, but because you could have a character who's narratively impactful and be written poorly. But when you look at the way he foils Naruto, which in my opinion he's a better foil to Naruto than Gaara and Pain were, even though I think Pain overall as a character, I'd have him above Obito, but that's a whole like different discussion. Mm-hmm. The way.
Ooh, that's interesting. That, in my opinion, Obito done more to the story than Pain did. And like from a broad step, like
he was able to pull things behind the scenes. It's weird to me when people say, "Oh, I liked pre-Shonen's Ulquiorra," and a lot of people talk about his nihilism and emptiness and all that, and yet I never see that sort of willingness to look at that thematically for Obito, even though it's very clearly there. How he says he's empty inside, how everything's meaningless, it's all hell. It's like all of these philosophical intricacies that people are willing to afford Madara and pain. People just seem to completely forget about Obito. And I would argue Obito went out, because people point out the scene where Naruto called Obito, "Oh, you're actually a cool guy," and all that, which in my opinion is just bad. You could argue maybe just bad dialogue on Naruto's part. But I think what the scene actually means, and then on top of that, that's not how Obito went out. He went out sacrificing his life for Naruto. I would argue Obito went out a lot better than Madara, and you could argue even better than Pain did. So
better than Pain did.
I don't know.
I don't know about
see
better than Madara.
Yeah, better than Madara.
You don't think Obito went out better than Madara?
I mean, they're like relative to me, but I don't think one is really better than the other one. Better than Pain though, for sure.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Pain's.
Okay. I feel like Obito went out better than Madara just because Madara and the whole Kaguya shenanigans still doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah, that shit was bullshit.
Although that's not the end to Madara, if that makes sense. Technically it is, but
that last conversation he has with Hashirama is
that's beautiful.
I like it.
Yeah, that's a great conversation. But I agree. I think we're both set on this. Obito's an incredibly underrated character, and one that I think people like. It's strange because with the backstory, people.
I want them to get onto Sakura.
So much,
I want them to get onto Sakura. I want them to.
Obito's backstory is probably,
I want them to.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite in the entire series. Up there with Itachi, for sure.
If you want like a nice recollection of Obito's character, maybe you haven't looked at the series in a while, go to find one of the websites with the manga on it, and after Obito's backstory, I think it's like chapter 608, 607, when it's ending and he talks about how the world doesn't matter to him, and the page where he says doesn't matter to me, it's completely black. Just read that whole chapter and you'll understand Obito a little bit better.
Right. Yeah. So I think again the he started the war over Rin as people simplifying something to a gross degree and just going along with it.
Yeah.
Just because again, if you look at the context, it's clearly a character who had lost everything.
Yeah.
And for him, he was being told the entire time, yeah, this world ain't really shit. And then he found out, hey, no, this world ain't really shit. So, there's Obito. So I guess an easy transition from Obito would be the one responsible for Obito, and that would be Madara.
Yep.
I feel like Madara has very extremes. I feel like Madara.
He's literally an extremist. He's an extremist. They're all. It's mainly Toby Rama's fault. That guy's just a racist, man. All of them are racist because they fucking hate Cheers, but they still sided with them when they know damn well they fucking hated them.
Mud a little too much regarding the whole Kaguya thing. Some people are willing to use that and completely discard his entire character, and I see others who have Madara a little too high into consideration.
Yeah, people, especially on like the power scaling side, it's kind of just like Itachi if you really think about it.
Okay,
right? Like there's people who say
he's just
Madara
fucking
beat Kaguya or beat
what? Who said that? Who said they can beat Kaguya? Nah, he's on what? What are they on?
When that's obviously just not happening, right? Like Kaguya is just Madara plus more.
What?
So there's no way Madara is beating her in the end. But like, as a character, what do we lean more towards? Do we lean more towards he's underrated because he has those extremes? So
he is he is not.
Do you feel like one extreme is shown more than the other one?
What's
good,
everyone's perspective is going to be different,
what's good?
Right? Depending on how much of the community you're into and how much of certain sides of the community you see.
He's overrated.
Personally,
in my opinion, he's overrated.
Right, where people understand the build up to his character, everything he did when
actually,
he
he's
was
not even
in the fourth great
he's
ninja
just
war, like,
middle actually.
It's amazing, the quotables, just everything with Madara. Like,
we're not using power scaling, so it's like
Obito has so many of those same qualities that
from
people
Portugal
completely forget about.
That's
But
up,
with
man.
Madara, from what I've experienced,
How you been, man?
my
How you been,
personal take
ASAP?
on the character as well is everything was great.
I don't know
Just the
if it's your name.
Kaguya situation does kind of stain what could. It's sort of like you do a sick
was, like,
trick on a
pointless, like-
skateboard, but then you roll your ankle on the landing. But you kind of get up and limp it off anyways. That's sort of how I feel about Madara. It's like I think most people, if they were to have him on like a top 10 list,
Yeah.
from what I've seen, would have him maybe 6th or 7th, mostly 7th, which I think is fair. I think it's fair for that kind of character.
Yeah, it definitely depends on.
He's
what
very
part of the
fucking
community
cool, but
you're
like
in. Because there's like a little subsect on Instagram of people who think Madara is just number one.
Yeah.
I think they're like
if I,
maybe 4,000 deep at this point. They just think Madara is number one, like the best character.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Listen, anime Instagram I'm on there just for promotional purposes and because some of the homies. But I've seen people on anime Instagram say like Kanye West over Takehiko Inoue, who's the author of Vagabond.
what the
And I
fuck?
scratched my head. And they're like, well, art is art. And I'm like, that's not how that works. You don't put a choir against a monochromatic drawing in an art tournament, but go crazy.
They're
So,
such
anime
idiots, man.
Instagram is a very...
It's a wild
very-
place.
it's a
That's
very
OD.
interesting place. So now we can move on to what I think would be easily one of the most underrated characters in the series, because Naruto gets a lot of talk about the female
Sakura.
characters, and sadly a large majority of that
Sakura.
conversation surrounds characters like Sakura and Hinata, which I think most of us can agree that Hinata is definitely necessary, especially in the fourth Great Ninja War when Obito almost broke Naruto, and if it wasn't for Hinata being there, I think Naruto would have gone kind of crazy. Sakura, we'll get to her. But I think when it comes to a really underrated character, one that I think legitimately had a great character arc, Tsunade. I think Tsunade is an extremely underrated character.
Yes, and we agree on this one.
Okay. I agree. I've been good, man. It's been a good day today. It's nice and warm today. Got a bit of hay fever today, but I've been good today. We've had a good stream.
This was one of the ones we talked about
Tsunade
in depth before we started recording, but
Yeah.
Tsunade does not get the praise she deserves
Agreed.
whatsoever. And I think
she's actually what I do is she's goated, She done so much for the. It's crazy. So many people would have died if it wasn't for her. Oh wow.
it's
She done
because
so
of-
much. She literally clutched up against Orochimaru when they were versing. It was that and the other guy.
that conversation that Naruto characters or Naruto females are just all poorly written.
They're not. That's
No
so, bro.
When no one wants to throw in the ring that, oh well, there's one. Here's Tsunade.
There's one. We got one.
We got at least one. Like I don't agree with the whole take in general. Like, oh, Naruto.
I think Hinata's poorly written. Hinata's just dog.
Was poorly written. I think it's really those two like highlighted examples with Sakura and Hinata, and less so on Hinata, way more so on Sakura. But
Really?
Tsunade's backstory is great for one. The whole thing about fearing blood, losing both of her brother and her lover, the necklace of death.
The fact that the brother actually resembled what's it called, Naruto a lot as well.
All of
Some
it
reason
is
she
tied
took him in.
really well together into the present with Naruto and her like coming back
Is it literally? She's literally the better version of Sakura. Literally.
to being herself because of someone like those people she used to love that passed away.
She was a gambler. She was like
and the beginning of the arc starts with her contemplating a decision on whether or not she wants to help Orochimaru so she can get those people back. But then Naruto just gives it to her, right? Like he's just there.
And it reminds her.
It's a really nice arc. She's definitely like the best. She's got one of the best character introductions in the whole Naruto manga.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So she's definitely the best female.
It was OG
character introduction in the
Naruto.
whole
What do you
manga.
expect? Everything was
At least
beautiful
in
with
my
her.
opinion.
No, I definitely agree. I think she's one of the that whole story with Tsunade and her overcoming her trauma and sort of the character arc from this reckless person who had nothing. She didn't want anything to do with this sort of lifestyle anymore to becoming Hokage. I feel like it was a really strong emotional point for me in part 1. As well as she's also a character that puts in a good amount of work in the Great Ninja War. Like, she did all she could, but poor Madara, right? Like
fucking he's going.
Like, I mean, come on now. And I think if you say a character loses a fight, therefore they're a bad character, it's such a horrid take. Like, I see so many people downplay Sasori as a character because he lost to Sakura, when it's like Granny Chio's right there. But anyways, bad take. But I definitely think Tsunade. I also, and I'm just going to be completely honest, I think also a large majority of the conversation regarding Tsunade and her character kind of gets swept under the rug just because of her two giant personalities. If I'm being honest, because like most of the time when the boys talk about Tsunade, ain't no one talking about her damn character. Let's be honest, ain't no one doing it, which is a shame because
bro, that's literally anime
really
for you.
Character, and low key, you could
need to start making girls with small tits, bro. I swear.
Later on,
that's what he needs to do.
So I think both of us agree Tsunade is definitely underrated. This next one, I've never liked this character.
Oh
personally.
My god,
and
Nedge.
That might be a crazy take.
You don't like Nedge? What is Nedge not? What is?
I've never been a fan of this character.
Really?
But is it not?
It's not.
Oh shit, I didn't know. I'm out of touch with the community. Crap. But I still am willing to recognize that for that conflict he had with Naruto, I thought to this day it's one of the things in part 1 that stuck with me the most. I personally don't look at it and think it's poorly done. I know I've seen a lot of arguments that the character's Neji. Let me say that the character's Neji. But I have seen a lot of arguments that whole message of you're kind of screwed, like fate is kind of what determines it, right? And you can't go against what's sort of been predetermined. That
you can change fate though.
Proven right by the end of Naruto, and I kind of want your opinion on that as well as just Neji overall as a character.
It's true.
Yeah, no, that's stupid. So people who say Neji's right typically just ignore the fact that Naruto like broke the cycle of hatred. They're like, he was special at the beginning. All this was predetermined. Yeah, he broke the cycle of hatred. The thing that's been cycling for over 1,000 years, Naruto just like broke it. That just completely dismantles that entire argument. Neji was wrong in the end.
Right.
So
fate does not determine the future.
Neji for a few reasons. So I definitely think he's
Chat to me.
Chat
to me. Overrated, no.
I don't like how Neji beat on Hinata when he was first introduced. I never liked that. I didn't like it when I first watched this series either.
Why?
I didn't like how he was picking on Naruto, because I liked Naruto when I was first watching the show. I liked him way more than I ever liked Neji when I first started watching it. So watching him bully Naruto was also annoying. And then
I mean, a lot of people were bullying Naruto
after that, basically by Hinata's dad. So it's like this guy's whole thing, and then after that he doesn't do anything else really. Then he dies.
Right. Yeah.
So his whole thing is based on a lie.
Wow.
And
these men are hating like that.
Dies. I don't like Neji. He's overrated.
Right.
What?
Okay. I'm willing to agree with that, with the way people talk about his character. I do think it was a good opposing ideology to what Naruto had, and it being proven wrong by Naruto, I think, was a good thing. But I don't personally.
He didn't really show up a lot in Shippuden. I admit
that is something that a lot of people do miss.
But
when it comes
OG
to Naruto's theme, even though in the 4th grade
OG one he was good.
It's literally there in front of you. You have it. You have the entire cycle right there. You have Madara and Hashirama, Obito and Kakashi, Naruto and Sasuke. You're literally shown the generational cycle of hatred that is repeated, and yet people, that bit is extremely confusing. Yeah. I definitely do think Neji's a character that served his role for again that time and conflict, but I think he sort of follows the same vein as Lee, where people wanted more from their characters that I think were necessary.
Don't compare him to Lee. Don't compare him to Lee.
What we should have gotten from them, and maybe you could argue that Neji could have went out better. But yeah, no, I think that's sort of it with.
Argue the fight. He died stupidly.
This next one. Next one. I have never understood
it.
I have never. Naruto fans, y'all frustrate me because y'all wreck characters that shouldn't get wrecked so hard, but yet some of the best characters.
Wait, why is this even in it?
Y'all completely ignore. So I don't blame One Piece fans when they absolutely trash on Naruto, even though I think that's stupid. Because I'd argue, we were talking about this before. We were to do a list of the best characters in the big three. Naruto dominates that list in my opinion, but whatever. Why in God's name? Why? Why? I saw this twice. Why should I ever see Shisui in a top 10 Naruto character list? And why was he in...
Yeah. Bro, there's literally nothing to write about, deep it. There's nothing to write about him. He was just a very strong Shia that sacrificed, that got fucking played by Danzo. Because Danzo's a fucking prick that he is. He loves the Leaf Village to fucking God knows, and he's basically racist. And he got played, and he got his eye ripped out because he had very fucking powerful eyes, and then he just gave his eye to fucking thing, and then he fell off a cliff. Like,
in the top 5.
What?
For some
top
people.
20?
What? Thank you. He's cool. But
cool,
he does not have narrative. Like, okay, he has narrative weight because of his relationship to Itachi.
Yeah, that's it.
But outside of like what, 2-3 scenes?
Yeah.
What is there?
Nobody, bro.
Literally.
What is there?
We're talking about the guy who got folded by Danzo in 4 different continuities. He got folded 4 different ways.
Oh, don't do that, man. Don't do that.
Look, this is what I've been told.
Don't do that.
I've been told that the main reason people like Shisui is because of the Ninja Storm games.
Storm 4
my
game, yep, with the
God.
green Susanoo, where
Yeah.
he didn't even have in the anime and manga. So
Because
I've
I never played those games.
Why the fuck has he got a green
played little bit of
Susanoo?
Storm 4 with Swag on
What
stream
the
one time.
fuck?
So I never really
Yeah.
gotten deep into those games. So I heard that's why people like him. Because I genuinely wanted to know why people would care for Shisui so much. There's
I'm
that,
pretty sure he's
and then
busted in
there's
that
this
game.
like anime filler, where Shisui's a kid and he fights some Anbu members.
Oh yeah, he was cold in this. I'll be
I
real.
think make people like him. But
He was
other
cold
than
in that.
I mean,
Yeah,
nothing.
the way he gets talked about is.
I'll be
gross.
real. Yeah,
Like,
I understand now. I low-key understand when he put it into this context because he was fucking. I remember this shit. He was carrying the fuck out of Itachi. I'm like, bro, at that age.
Ever in my life see Shisui near, like you said, a top 20 respectfully. And he's not that he's a bad character.
He would be overpowered if he
There's
didn't die.
just nothing
He would have
there
been.
to justify it. There's
Yeah.
nothing. There's nothing there. No,
Yeah, I agree there.
not at all. Not at all. And can I be honest? I think him and Itachi suffer from the same thing, which is people I think really judge the character based off of potential. Like the what if they were allowed to be at their strongest?
Okay,
you know?
okay.
I feel like that's neat and all, but we can't use theories and what ifs to add to a character over the actual substance material. Like you can't. Like you can't do that. Like I'm sorry, no.
Yeah, no, it's
you're
not
not
fair.
getting away with it. Like no, we don't do this. I don't see this with any other series.
I agree. I'm not gonna disagree with that.
I
I'm
do
not.
not.
I can't.
It's literally like writing your own side story to the manga in your head and saying that it's canon, bro. Like, literally,
Yeah.
kid. So nah.
Yeah, nah, listen. Cool concept.
He is a cool
I
character,
thought he
but
was
he's
raw in Storm 4, but I'm sorry. No. The next one I think is really interesting because there's obviously his connection to Lee, right? His dynamic
His dad.
with Kakashi, which is fun. But Might Guy, considering that really the moment with Guy's character.
I'll be real, yeah. His peak, Might Guy's peak, was in the 4th Great Ninja War when he broke the 8th gate or some shit, the gate of death, whatever that is, and bro took on fucking the what was it, the 9 Sage fucking Obito, whatever that form was called. I don't even know what the form was called. The white form. Bro took him on. That was such a cold scene. I'll be real. He was so cold in that. But obviously he's not stronger, but it was just cool.
And I mean, he also had the fight with
I think he's a very cool guy as well.
Kisame. Don't get me wrong. Like, that was really dope
Yeah.
as well. But
Kisame.
really, it's just kind of the Madara moment. And even then, a lot of people don't like the fact that he survived. So I don't really know how to, because I like Guy.
I'll be real. He should have died. He should have died. It would have been better. It would have been better. It would have been way more emotional. He should have died because he literally broke the Nightfall, which is guaranteed death. He shouldn't be alive.
Don't get me wrong. Like, my Guy is super likable, but I wonder if sometimes people take him being likable and then take that to the extreme where they're like, oh yeah, he was a really good character. Where it's like, I don't really know. Maybe I'm out of touch. I don't really know the discussion with Mike Guy.
I mean, yeah, most of the time people talk about Mike Guy.
I really like Mike Guy.
About his power. Because Mike Guy doesn't have a ton of super emotional moments, right? Like, he's really like power of youth, hype, kick and punch guys, right?
Yeah.
So that's his main thing. And then he does this crazy stuff with Madara, and it's like, oh, okay, well, that's like the apex of this character.
Yeah.
So
it was such a cool fucking.
Yeah, he's cool.
I think he's just cool.
He's just.
I don't think. I think he might be overrated,
really overrated, especially when it comes to that fight. Like when it comes to Guy versus Madara. Yeah, he survived.
He should have died.
Like, in the end, it didn't really do anything. So it's like, is it really bad he survived? Like, if he took out Madara then survived, okay, then we have a bigger discussion here. Maybe that shouldn't have happened. But he didn't take out Madara.
Right.
So I don't know. I feel like it's fine that way.
Gotcha. All right, so guy's a relatively simple one to get out of the way. I know we were also discussing Gaara as a character, where, and I forgot to sort of bring this up when we were talking about Neji and Rock Lee, but I think real quick we could.
I'm really annoyed how he died. But I feel like that was like. It was kind of necessary.
I think we could agree that Gaara is relatively properly rated. Most of the community sees him as one of the better characters in the series.
He is definitely.
He's definitely in my top 10. Just because I think
how much he changed, how much he developed as a character from when he was younger, fucking hating everyone, thinking he was an outcast. He was definitely an outcast, and how he generally found someone that loved him as a friend, and how it built him up as a character to love others. And trust others around him. It was beautiful. He's a very good,
everything
very
from his backstory to the dynamic he had with Naruto,
100.
and the fact that he's one of those side characters that remained prevalent and relevant near the end, is I think a really strong suit for his character. I think Gaara.
The fact he was a Hokage at such a young age.
Another good thing about Gaara is that his character development is extremely noticeable.
Yep.
Right.
Like you see Gaara change as a person, not just from mass murderer man to end of part 1 where he's calm down helping the Leaf Village. You see that change from that mass murderer kid all the way up till he becomes Kazekage, and then at the end of the series as well, and then even on into Boruto. You really see Gaara change as a character, and I think that's what really makes people like him. You can just physically see the development. So yeah.
Right, yeah. No, I love Gaara. He's great. Okay.
100.
So
that's a good take.
I wanted to do a positive.
Not overrated.
So we could ease a little bit because there might be some very strong sentiments with this character.
I already know, man. I know. I already know just by looking at the hair.
I think vote thing. Her fight against Sasori was voted number 1.
It was a good fight. You cannot just take away from that fight. It was a good fight.
But
that's about it.
I don't. But listen, not that was a bad fight. Just why that one over Kakashi, Obito, both Sasuke versus.
They rated that fight over them. They rated that fight over this. And the Itachi and the Kakashi.
Naruto's. Anything else? What?
Bodied, bro. Bodied votes.
Yeah.
For this and the Naruto top 99, by the way, best fights and the popularity poll.
Wait, they were bodied
votes. Yes. People were using VPNs to double vote on Sakura. They were getting One Piece fans to come in vote for Sakura, basically just to sabotage the thing.
I didn't know that.
And yet somehow she's still behind Itachi and Minato, right?
Yeah, well, she was back then. We don't know.
And then that changed. I will say real quick, I know we're supposed to be getting into Sakura. We already have enough Itachi content. I want to see some more for Minato personally. That's my take on it. But okay, so Sakura here.
The huff. Chat to me.
What the fuck? Why is I've never seen. Listen, as a Berserk fan, we go hard for Casca, right? Because she's
agreed.
Go around the anime and manga community and talk about good female characters. She
Casca, amazing,
one that gets brought up often, right? And yet, we're not even that ride or die for her. And she's pretty universally considered a really well-done female character because she's more than a romantic interest. She's a legitimate character who goes through great character development, although there's, her character's yet to be finished. Oh, that's nor here nor there. Sakura is a character that I think, yes, sometimes people might conflate the fact that they...
Bro, trying to say that she loves Naruto. Like, bro, come on, man. Cause she knows she couldn't reach Itachi. She was like, I love you now. Like, come on, man.
Her personality,
like, bro, you're a dickhead.
With her character. But it's like...
She's just...
We kind of talked about it with Tsunade. It's sort of like... I would argue Tsunade had a far more compelling character arc than Sakura had throughout the entire series.
Why are you standing Sakura? Tsunade is right there. Sakura plus is right there. Sakura with better character development, more motivation, everything else better is right there. Why Sakura? I did a video about Sakura and why I don't like her. Just fully in depth why I completely genuinely dislike her character. One was that bullshit she pulled with Naruto.
I literally said that. I said that.
Oh my god, it has to be the worst plan in the whole Shinobi world.
Yeah,
worst plan in the whole Shinobi world. And then Sakura's fights are bad. She's got one.
She's one good one.
She's got one.
One good one
with Chiyo and Sasori. Oh, I guess two with Shin. But Shin really makes that fight way better.
Yeah.
Like Sakura versus Ino.
I was literally about to say that Ino gets trashed for that. The Ino legitimately gets trashed for that. If we're gonna hold that against Ino, we need to hold it against Sakura as well, because this is my genuine opinion on Sakura. I think everything regarding her character is how do I want to word this very carefully. She's obviously important in the series. There's no denying that. But everything that I care about her is mostly just because of Sasuke. It's her impact on Sasuke, if anything. But I don't...
But then Sasuke generally just doesn't like her anymore.
Just completely being ignorant to the whole situation, I just feel like as a character, despite being one of the primary ones in the cast, there's so many other characters that have far more, again, compelling character arcs to me than she did.
She really isn't likable.
And again,
she just isn't likable.
Don't hate her as a character. I just don't care, which I feel like is a shame because I want to. Again, you're the romantic interest to Sasuke, who in my opinion is the best character in the entire series. And yet,
here we go. Shut the fuck up,
man.
That's
a character where it's like, okay, you had Lee, who had this lightning in a bottle moment.
Overrated as fuck, Sasuke.
You have Gaara, who has this progression throughout the entire series, this development throughout the entire series. And it feels like Sakura gets largely forgotten for.
I would say that Gaara is more developed as a character than fucking Sasuke, because he's outright just dumb. He's just a dumb fucking character, man. He doesn't use his brain at this point.
Majority of the narrative.
He doesn't understand he's just repeating fucking history, man.
Which is
pisses me off.
And the moments she does have aren't really all that great to justify botting an entire competition.
Agreed.
So she could win a popularity poll, in my humble opinion. Now, if she ends up winning it, I hope we get some more material that. And I mean, I haven't read Boruto yet, although I'm thinking about catching up because I've heard a lot of conversation around that.
The manga.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, bro, I don't, because the anime comes out more frequently than the manga, right?
Well, the anime is done now.
It's done now, but it was coming out weekly, right?
Yeah,
and the manga was coming out monthly. Yep. When has that ever been the case? Why would they set up a series like that? Why would...
It's really poorly done. Really poorly done. No one can disagree with that.
Okay, that's a shame because I stopped reading the manga around the Jigen fight. It was years ago, so I definitely have a lot to catch up on, especially some of the things I've been hearing recently. Is there anything in Boruto regarding Sakura that one could really vouch for, or is it just...
There's nothing.
I just said no.
Yeah, again, it's a real shame because I feel like as a character, she came off more as a romantic interest, kind of like how Hinata does with Naruto, instead of there legitimately feeling like there was time to develop a relationship. I feel like there's a huge difference between writing a romantic interest and writing a relationship.
Yeah.
And writing a character. Like Team 7, right? Naruto, Sasuke, Kakashi. Oh, those are three pretty good goated characters.
Yeah. Yo,
with nothing but wanting Sasuke. Naruto, he wants to get Sasuke back 100%. He also wants to be Hokage. Sakura has nothing but wanting Sasuke. We never learned about a single other goal Sakura has.
I agree. That's not wrong.
Sasuke. And it really
now I understand why people generally hate her. It's like she had one thing. That's it. The whole entire series.
Not with those characters, because Sasuke has this whole thing with Itachi, and then eventually, the more that he learns about the world, the more he realizes. Like, it's like his scope of what's wrong with the world becomes wider and wider the more he learns about it, which I thought was a beautiful progression of Sasuke's goal, right? And then, like you said, Naruto as Hokage, that's an extremely long-term goal that is still there regardless of who he's around. And like you said with Sakura, it's like outside of Sasuke,
and then they get mini goals, right? Like with Naruto and Sasuke, they get mini goals. Naruto's like, oh, I need to learn Sage Mode. I need to make Sage Mode greater. I need to master hatred, conquer the Nine Tails. Sakura is the same thing. Whole story.
I don't know why. Why is she so poorly written though?
Boring. She's just a bad.
Like, what was he actually thinking?
Right. Yeah.
It generally would have made Naruto better if she had more than just one goal. I don't know why he like.
It's a shame. I think it's a real shame, because I think if Kishimoto,
she could have a goal of getting stronger so she can get to Sasuke.
would have been able to have given her something like Tsunade, but even greater, I think, than I think Naruto. I think Naruto would be looked at pretty differently.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So now that we're done talking about what will probably get us in trouble, so be it. We can now turn to another underrated character, one that I felt, at least in the Akatsuki, you could argue. Now, I personally have him behind.
Who do you think he's talking about, chat? In the Akatsuki? The shark nigga.
Sorcery, but that's just me. But I still think he doesn't get enough praise. Because I hear a lot of praise for like Zabuza and Haku, which I have no issue with.
Oh, they were gold.
But I feel like Kisame is a really solid character for the time that we get him.
I agree.
And yet I don't hear as much as I'd like to regarding him.
Kisame is fun. Like he's a good character.
Really good partner with Itachi.
On panel. Like Kisame is genuinely entertaining. He cracks jokes. His move kit is nice. He's got that big sword that
with the
absorbs chakra.
Yeah.
He's genuinely just like a funny guy. And then like his end was great.
Yeah.
Like the little flashback with Itachi and him having to unalive himself to save information, not give up any information. It was great. It was a beautiful ending.
Very good. Very good. Very well
written.
written.
Is definitely underrated.
I think his interactions with all the characters. Yeah, the interactions with all the characters. I also really did like his backstory as well. I feel like the backstories with the Akatsuki did a really good job of building the world, Yep. In a very effective short amount of time. And I think Kisame is one of those characters that, he doesn't really get as much talk as I feel like he should. And you could argue maybe that's because his final fight is against Guy, and it's not against, Deidara had to fight against Sasuke, and, Pain had to fight against Naruto. Like, some of the other Akatsuki members had fights against far more, I guess you could argue, primary characters in the series. So maybe that's the reason Kisame doesn't get the talk that he should. But I think also just from like a basic character standpoint, although this is pretty surface level, I do think Kisame is easily one of the better character designs in Naruto as well. Like, if you can recognize a character easily through their silhouette, you've done a pretty good job designing the character. So I think Kisame, I don't think anybody's putting him in a top 10 or a top 15, but he's definitely a solid character for what he does. And okay,
who's next?
I didn't talk.
Who's next? I'm pre-firing it. Wait. Actually, no. Jiraiya should not be in it. If I see Jiraiya in there, put Sasuke in there. I dare you. Put Sasuke in there. Put Sasuke.
To you about this before the call.
Do it.
Because
do it now.
I think I know where you're coming from.
Do it now.
But I want you to explain it, because
do it now.
I don't know where to go from here.
Do it now.
Could you explain to the ladies and gentlemen, the jury, how you feel about Jiraiya?
Why is he here? Oh no! You're not about to do this. You're not about to put Jiraiya in underrated or overrated. What? No, don't do this.
So, let's say.
Do not. If I hear this guy say he's overrated, I will. Oh, yo, no. I will.
Anything else?
No.
I like Jiraiya.
Okay, yeah, no. We know what he's gonna say.
Jiraiya.
They all know where this is going.
We know what he's gonna say. He's gonna diss.
He's a good character.
Okay, here we go.
However,
here we go.
His entire, narrative is that he is just a loser.
Oh my god. Don't do that, man. He's not. Yo, what's good? Wait.
And you can't really disagree with me.
He's just a perv. That's literally it. His name is Pervy Sage, bro. But he taught Naruto so much. You can't really say he's just a loser, man. Is that the reason why you hate him? Because he's just a loser.
He failed at getting Orochimaru back.
Oh, bro.
He never got Tsunade. He lost the pain.
Okay. But he made Naruto who he is today. You can't.
He never mastered Sage Mode.
Oh my fucking god, this nigga, bro. Yeah, you just hating on him. You're not even. We're not talking about like. We're talking about how good of a character he is. This isn't about like his. Why are we talking about power scaling him? Why are we talk? I thought we weren't gonna talk about power scaling. Like
it's like he never really completed anything. If you get what I mean.
Your point.
So
he was still a big part of Naruto.
It's like his whole, and he's thinking about this as he's dying. He's like, dang, I never did any of this stuff. I couldn't protect Minato. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't protect Hiruzen. So it's like, you can't really disagree that he's a loser. You can say you like him, but he's still.
So why is he on this? Why is he on this list? Why is he on this list? Because he's a loser.
He's overrated.
Shut up, man. Okay, this guy needs a shut up, man. I swear.
Okay, so you think? Okay.
No, man.
I'm not gonna disagree with.
Bro, how can you say as someone so key to Naruto's character, Naruto's development, mastering certain jutsus, is useless, is overrated? Jiraiya out of everyone, he even taught this guy Sage Mode. He would have never known it if he never took him to that place, and he never done the done the contract in his name and everything. Told bro, none of that would have happened. He would have never been able to go to
the loser part. But I personally think as a character, he's, unless people just have him in like top 5s and all that, and even when it comes to like the top 10, I have him more so like from 11 to 15 personally.
No,
just because again, he was a loser, but I'd argue him training what would be the Hokage, not a Hokage, the Hokage who broke the cycle.
Yeah, he literally. He was Minato's master as well, and you're saying he was useless. He was a bro. Allow that, man.
Train him well. He didn't train him well. Look, he didn't train him well.
What? What?
He didn't train him well. Look, you can't disagree with this, bro. People always complain about how Naruto came back from that time skip with Jiraiya and learned bad genjutsu control and a bigger Rasengan. Am I wrong?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I guess you have a point. I think but I'd argue the way Jiraiya went out is probably the best way any character has gone out.
Oh yeah.
You could argue maybe
Beautiful
just because of
send-off.
the emotional impact. Yeah, that.
Bro,
I think that send-off makes the character.
In the anime, when Jiraiya dies and Naruto's like running through the forest and his hand like touches his back, that was crazy to me. Like that was beautiful. It was a beautiful death. He's still a loser though.
Oh my god. I thought he's just a hater, chat.
Yeah, I do like the whole thing with like him writing, his story and all that, and sort of the way that tied in, and just his relationship with Nagato and Naruto, because if it was just Naruto, then
this guy generally he literally trained, he taught these nobodies, these orphans, these people, these random kids that had Rinnegan and a bunch of other shit. He didn't need to teach them, did he? But he's just a good fucking guy. How can you hate on such a good fucking guy and then just call him a loser? How can you hate on him? He's just a good fucking guy. And he done something good. But it turned bad. And he can't help that. It was obvious that he was gonna get beaten because he had fucking Rinnegan, and Jiraiya's not that fucking overpowered. Like,
sure, but I think his relationship with Nagato, like, okay, so I just want to clarify. You think he's a good character, right? He's
Yes.
just a loser.
bro, you can't. He just hates him because he's a loser. Bro, what the fuck, man? Nah,
we have him in the same spot. Like, I would have him like 11 to 15, just like you.
Okay.
But I feel like you're more reasonable putting him there. I think I see a lot more people put Jiraiya like top 7 area.
Ooh, yikes. Yeah, listen, if you have...
Yikes.
Yeah, personally, if you have Jiraiya above Tsunade, I'm not going to go crazy. Now, if you have Jiraiya above Obito...
Oh, yeah, that's
reread Naruto. Just reread it. Just reread it. Reread it, and then
I agree.
Reread it again.
Okay.
But yeah, okay. So, all right. So we basically agree on that character then.
Yeah.
So we don't really have anybody else we kind of want to talk about. I think we've
that'll be vid though,
done
chat.
enough
It's
controversy,
a good vid.
maybe. I don't know.
I don't even know how long I've been speaking. Like
2023.
Yo,
It
this is
can't
a
be
long
as bad
ass
as it
vid.
used to be. Please.
Maybe
God,
an hour
I don't
plus.
know. Is it not? Or is
I
it
mean,
just the power
it's
scale?
better. It's better.
Is it? Okay. All right. This should be interesting then. But all right, man. Nah, I appreciate you coming on this video.
Yeah, no problem.
Make sure that if you haven't checked out Six, he does amazing Naruto content. So make sure you go check him out, watch his videos, subscribe to him. And as always, this has been The Masked Man. Hope everyone has a blessed rest of the day, and peace.
W vid. I like that vid. I like the people they picked. It was good. Don't know why Sasuke's not on there. I have a lot to say about that nigga. But it's all good, man.